so this trick is completely impromptu, which means we can take the deck here and give it some nice, thorough shuffles, just like so. And if I had a spectator, I would just ask them to go ahead, hold out their index finger, because I just want them to go ahead and touch any card as I spread through. Let's say they go ahead and touch this card right over here. So please go ahead, remember this card the best that you can. And I'll just actually leave that card kind of sticking out there in the center of the pack so you can see it going right in there. And you know what, maybe we'll also give the cards some quick cuts as well, just so that you guys can see all these cards are mixed up and shuffled. So, you know what, can I just try this for a second? I want to try a little bit of a skill that I've been working on recently. So, all right, this is basically what it is. So what if I told you that I could find your card, which is pretty impossible because I don't know what your card is. So what if I could find your card and turn it over in the deck? So it's the only card facing up out of these face down cards. Sounds pretty cool, right? But you know, to me, that just kind of sounds like a little bit of an amateur level trick. Like, it's not that impressive. So how do we take that trick and we take it to the next level? Well, I actually have an idea. So what if I did exactly what I told you I was gonna do, but with no hands? Or in other words, I would not touch the deck at all. Okay, yeah, now it's getting a little bit more interesting, right? So let's go ahead and try this. So I just want you to think of your card, and I'm not gonna touch the deck. I promise I'm not gonna touch it, and I'm just gonna see if I can take your card. Yeah, right there. Just like that. For the first time, you can go ahead and name your card out loud. They would go ahead and do this, and I would not touch the cards at all from this point on in the trick. I would have the spectator spread through the cards themselves. They would spread through the cards just like this. And look at that. They find one card in the deck has somehow turned over their selection, the 10 of clubs. And yeah, that is the trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So about a year ago, I posted a video called How to Turn Their Card Over Without Touching the Deck. While I do like the version that I taught previously, I do personally believe that this version here trumps that version. I think this version is a lot stronger. It has a lot more of a hands-off feeling than the other one. The other one, you are touching the deck a lot, and it's not really true to the title of the trick. So I wanted to kind of recreate another version of it where it really does seem like a hands-off trick. Like the card really just turns over without you doing anything, and I think this really looks amazing. I can't wait to show it to you guys, and let's get right into how this trick is done. So it's a pretty simple concept of how it works. So the basic idea of this trick, I'll do a very, very quick overview for those more advanced magicians who sort of know how things are done already, and then I'll show you a longer tutorial for those beginner magicians who need some more time to learn the sleights. So a very quick overview, basically. You're gonna control the card, let's say the Jack of Hearts, you're just gonna control it here to the bottom of the deck any way you like, and then you're gonna do a half pass with that bottom card. So you're gonna turn that card over. You're gonna slide that card over to the bottom and cut the cards in half. This card is basically gonna be held side jogged in the deck, and then you're gonna spread the cards out on the table here from left to right, performing the side angle jog concealment move. So that card is already face up in the pack. Since you've side jogged it and spread out the cards, all these cards are going to be covering it because of the spread here. So that card is going to be completely hidden underneath the rest of the deck. So now it looks like all these cards are just totally face down, and the trick is essentially over at this point. This is literally all you have to do, because all you have to do now is square up the cards, hand the deck to them, and you do a little hand motion of you trying to turn their card over, snap your fingers, and have them spread out the cards, and boom, their card is now face up. It's really, really that simple. So that was just a little bit of an overview for those advanced magicians, but now let's get into a much more in-depth tutorial of how to do each and every one of those sleights. So like I said, it is pretty simple, so it's really not gonna take that long to practice, but it is still gonna take some practice. So just keep that in mind when you practice any card trick, honestly. So first, you're gonna have the spectator just touch any card here that they want to, and I like to use a spread cull to control the cards. So I show the card here. Basically what I do is I have them touch a card, and when they touch a card here, I lift up all the cards from the right hand, and I leave this bottom card of the right hand spread out jog just a little bit here. I take the card that they touched and I push it over to the right just a little bit, and I just try and line it up the best that I can with this card. So I use my thumb here and I put it on this card, and I just kind of line up those cards the best that I can. And then my fingers will clamp down, and I will raise my hand up and show the spectator the card that they touched. And this really is the card that they touched, the ace of diamonds here. So now I'm gonna place my thumb on this card and my fingers on this ace of diamonds here. All I'm gonna do now is pull my fingers to the right, and that card is going to clear the rest of the spread. So now I'm gonna do that motion as I bring my hand down, and now I'm gonna continue to spread the rest of the deck, and you guys can see that this card is now going to be kind of underneath my fingers here, just like this. So now I can spread through all these cards, and when I square up the cards, that card is just gonna get squared up right there on the bottom of the pack. And this card that's sticking out in the middle is a random card. This is not their selection. Their selection is now on the bottom of the pack. So one more time, do that very quickly here. They touch a card. I'm gonna leave this card out jogged, and I'm gonna line this card up the best that I can with this card here. So boom, I'm gonna line that up. And I do this lining up motion as I lift my hand up. I don't line up the cards and then show the spectator the card. I wanna line up the cards as I show them the cards, like this. That will just kind of hide the motion of you actually lining up the cards, because this sort of is a little bit of a secret move. So as I lift up my hands, I line the cards up, show them the card, let's say King of Spades here, place my thumb down on that card, and then as I bring my hand down, like this, so right there, boom, now my fingers are gonna cull that card. They're gonna take that card away, and then I'm gonna spread through the cards here, and that card is gonna ride all the way down to the bottom of the pack. Now I can square that card up. So at this point, you're gonna perform a half pass with the bottom card, which looks something like this. And all that is I'm going to take my pinky and get a little bit of a pinky break. I'm gonna take my right hand and hold the entire deck in biddle grip. So I'm gonna hold the entire deck just like this, and this bottom card is going to be held singly in the left hand. Now all I'm gonna do is take my index finger and place it underneath the entire deck. So that index finger goes from here to here, so here to here, just like this. All I'm gonna do is take my fingers here, and my pinky mostly, I'm gonna bring that card down, and it's gonna rotate, and my index finger is gonna kind of push the card out, so it's gonna rotate 180 degrees like this. So I'm gonna rotate it, boom, it's gonna rotate 180 degrees, and then I just put all the cards back together, and then a little bit of a cleanup move is you just kind of rotate the deck like this, and then you catch it in your other hand. And that's just to make it look a little bit more natural, so it doesn't look like you're doing this weird little thing like that. You can just kind of, it just looks like you're spinning the deck now like this, which is a very natural move. So yeah, it doesn't matter what card, because this is just a tutorial, so we can change the card. So one more time, let's say they touch a card, boom, control to the bottom, just like this, and I kind of do the half pass right as I square up the deck from the control. So I do the control and the half pass sort of not right next to each other, but very, very close to each other. So let's say we have a card touched, controlled, just like this. So right about here, as the cards are kind of messy, I'm gonna take my pinky and get that break. And now as I square up the cards, I do the half pass, square up, and rotate the deck. So it just kind of looks like I'm squaring up all the cards together, and now their card is turned over. At this point, I'm gonna take my right hand and place my index and middle finger on the edge of the deck, and my ring finger and pinky are not going to be touching anything. They're just gonna be out here. Now I'm gonna take my fingers from underneath, and I'm gonna slide the bottom card, which is now turned over, I'm just gonna slide it out to the right like this. This is gonna be covered by my ring and pinky finger, and they're actually gonna be contacting the corner of that card here. One more time, I'm gonna push that card out, and just don't go further than the pinky. So you don't want to go there, you just want to go until the pinky will conceal it. So just make sure the pinky can touch that corner right there. That will be perfect. So now, when I'm in this position, I'm gonna take my index finger and cut about half the cards, do a swing cut into my other hand, and then place the rest of the pack on top and kind of square up everything in my hand. And just make sure the deck is all squared up, but leave this card side jogged. So you guys can see there's now one card side jogged in the pack, and my hand is still in the same position as before. My ring and pinky finger are still covering that card. So to the spectator's eyes, it just looks like this. It just looks like a deck of cards, but you really are just concealing this card that's sticking out at the side. You're going to spread the cards on the table from left to right. And how to get the best spread, I like to take my index finger and move it to the side here. That will really give the cards a nice even spread. And I just apply pressure down with the index finger as I spread them on the table. And when you spread through the cards, you're just gonna do this kind of quickly. Just try spreading through the cards with this side jogged card out. So if you spread through the cards like this, look at that. You'll see that the card will just be automatically hidden by the rest of the deck. And yes, this will take some practice, it will take some getting used to, but you just wanna make sure that your ring and pinky finger still conceal that card as you spread through the cards on the table. That's the most important part. So you don't wanna completely leave that card side jogged and open as you spread the cards. You wanna hide that card as you do the spreading motion. But yeah, as you guys can see here, the card is completely hidden. And my favorite part about this move is that you really can kind of just touch these cards just very lightly, and you can just kind of show the spectator, look, all these cards are face down. You don't want to spread through them really far, because if you spread through them really far, then you are going to expose the card. But if you just go really lightly like this, it looks super fair, super natural. Looks like all the cards are facing down. So at this point, you do the pattern. You say, so what if I could take your card, turn it over? That'd be cool, but how do we take it to the next level? And all you're gonna do is square up the cards and give it to them. And the trick is done. You're done with the trick now. So you can just do some hand motions like this, say, look, I'll take your card, turn it over, done. And now the spectator can spread through the cards themselves in their hands, and they take a look, and their card is now somehow turned over in the deck. And yeah, that is the trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites, gets great reactions. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the trick, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.